Where are Floridians moving to when they decide things aren't working out and they want to go somewhere else? That's what today's video is about. So I looked at analytics to see where people are moving to when they move from Florida. Now, not everybody that moves from Florida leaves the state, and you're going to see a few cities within Florida that are on today's top 10 list. A vast majority of the people that are moving to Florida are coming from big cities in the Northeast like New York, Boston, and Detroit or Chicago. Luckily for the rest of us in Florida, the vast majority of people who leave Florida go back to wherever the crap they came from. But today's video is about actual Floridians, people who are actually from Florida. Where are we going when we decide things are not working out due to the many reasons we know, like hurricanes or high cost of living? Number 10 on the list is the Tampa area. Tampa was more affordable many years ago, and that attracted a lot of people to move to Tampa. Today, the Tampa metro area offers a lot of work, and a lot of Floridians leaving South Florida, Orlando, or any other area that's just got way too expensive are looking into the Tampa area. As you can see by this highway here, there's dump trucks, semi-trucks, companies. There's a lot of work in Tampa. However, a lot of people that move to Tampa end up living in some horrible neighborhoods, and crap just doesn't go the way they think, because Florida's a state that offers very little economical prospects, and that is the reason why a lot of people are leaving Florida, because they're stuck here going absolutely nowhere with their lives. The city of Tampa has been able to draw people from all over Florida and now has like a miniature Miami and a miniature New York as well, with many people from other parts of Florida ending up in Tampa looking for affordability and at least enough money to stay within Florida. Number 9 is the state capital of Tallahassee. When you look at outbound migration from Tampa, Tallahassee is number 7. As people move into more affordable regions, Tallahassee is a clear choice for its affordability. However, many people that move to Tallahassee are soon to find out that the place is boring, doesn't have any beaches, crime and homelessness are rampant, the vibes are not as good as South Florida, and of course, there's not too many economical prospects, leading to many people who move to Tallahassee really regretting this decision. Tallahassee continues to be a very popular place because of the schools, and this has been happening since I can remember. Moving to Tallahassee is not a new thing for people in South Florida. The vast majority don't stay there for a long term. However, Tallahassee is now one of the fastest appreciating markets in the country, so there's no telling how long it will stay affordable. Number 8 is Gainesville, Florida. Cities in Florida don't offer too much to the people living there. There's not a lot of jobs, there's not a lot of opportunity, and many people from South Florida move to Gainesville thinking that because there's a little bit more affordability that their lives are going to be better. Unfortunately, there's no jobs in the Gainesville area, so not only is it not giving you a huge discount on affordability, it's just a little bit more affordable, but then there's also no jobs or prospects in the city. And while a lot of people from South Florida continue to move to Gainesville, they're not finding incredible jobs, and they're finding that the cost of living, especially the rents, are only a mere discount. A lot of people that are leaving South Florida are finding that the Gainesville area is boring, has a lot of homelessness, a lot of vagrancy. It's extremely boring, there's not a lot to do, and you're still stuck with a ridiculous rent, but even less job opportunities. A lot of people are moving to Gainesville, and many of them are not faring well. Number 7 is Greenville, South Carolina. Take your shirt off, swing it around your head, and take it to a pawn shop and hope you can at least get $5 for it. Because a lot of people that are moving to Greenville, South Carolina are looking for just that, just a few dollars more than what they got on them. Greenville does have great opportunities in the realm of employment and affordability. However, it is a fairly unattractive city. I have never been to Greenville and been like, man, I sure would want to live here. But nonetheless, a lot of people from Florida are moving to Greenville looking for just a better economical prospect. And they are finding this better economical prospect, but they're also finding a place that is dull, boring, gray, ugly, and just outright disgusting looking. I've personally never really been impressed by Greenville, but a lot of Floridians are moving here, and there's a small and growing Latin American community of Colombians, Venezuelans, and a few others who are moving here from South Florida looking for just better economy. Number 6 is Ocala, Florida. Very similar to Gainesville. A lot of people that are ending up in Ocala from other parts of Florida are just looking for affordability. Just like Gainesville, there are not too many jobs in Ocala. There's no beaches here, and the increasing real estate prices means that now not only does it cost more to live in Ocala, but there's more competition for the same jobs that were here already that weren't much to begin with. A lot of people moving to the Ocala area are just not really high income earners. So Ocala is becoming just kind of like a mass collection of all the poor people from other parts of Florida. That's never a good combination. Miami used to be the poorest city in the country, and now it's one of the richest because the people were hardworking and industrious. So hopefully in the Ocala area, the people can create a great economy and a great community that's going to mirror South Florida every day more. However, without the importation of stuff from Colombia, I don't know how they're going to do it. Number 5 is Knoxville, Tennessee. A lot of people in South Florida and Florida in general just dream about the mountains. And you're going to see that as we approach the top of this list, you're going to see more mountain towns as people from South Florida think that they can replace a beautiful sunny beach with a sad, depressing looking hill. Some parts of western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee are starting to look like miniature Floridas. A lot of Floridians are moving to the Knoxville area. You can even find authentic Florida restaurants like Cuban food, Venezuelan food in all these places because people from South Florida are moving here by the flock. Knoxville continues to have affordability, good employment, really great location to be close to the mountains, and I will be frank, isn't as horrible as some of the other towns that you're going to find people moving to. I found it interesting though that all the cities on this list are places that have a lot of homelessness, including Knoxville. Number 4 is Jacksonville, Florida. Still part of Florida. A lot of people from Miami, Tampa, Orlando are moving to Jacksonville looking for affordability. They're also finding a crapload of gangbanging. The people that are from Jacksonville are very upset that these people are buying up real estate, jacking up prices, becoming politically influential in a very short period of time. Pretty soon, Jacksonville will become South Florida as people from South Florida are being displaced by people from New York and other big cities that are moving to South Florida. So imagine a place that already had a bunch of ghetto people that were from there, and now you grab all the ghetto people from South Florida and put them there, and then they don't like each other. Welcome to Jacksonville, Florida. All of the ghetto people that were there before mixed with all the ghetto people that are moving there. I don't really see a bright prospect of people moving to Jacksonville. There's a community called Arlington that is starting to grow into a larger Hispanic community there as well. Number 3 is Chattanooga, Tennessee. Just like Knoxville, a lot of Floridians think that this is a great place to move for mountains affordability. However, I will notice that I had to spend some time in Chattanooga for somebody that wanted to move there, and I had to do some extensive research, and I found that new housing costs in Chattanooga is comparable to new housing costs in Florida, inexplicably because in Chattanooga you're closer to all the transportation routes for materials. You also have beautiful red clay soil to build on. There's really no reason why Chattanooga should cost so much to build. So if you're looking for new construction, there really isn't an economical incentive to move to Chattanooga, but you can find older houses that are smaller for a price you're not going to find in Florida. Chattanooga continues to be on the top of a lot of places in Florida of outbound migration for its affordability and great internet access. It's got great things going on, really. The larger cities in the United States are all struggling. I mean, most cities in the United States are having horrendous statistics, all in the wrong directions. What's attractive about Chattanooga is that you still have the beautiful natural settings. You have a pretty good job market. You have some of the best internet connections in the country. A lot of young people desperately depend on those internet connections for their livability. Chattanooga is number 8 for outbound migration out of Lehigh Acres, Florida, and a lot of other cities in Florida. Chattanooga is on the top of the list of places people leaving Florida are heading to. Number 2 is Sarasota, Florida. Sarasota is attracting people from all over the state of Florida. The housing cost here is not affordable, but the employment opportunities means you might be able to get a job that's good enough to live in this city. One of the worst things about living in Florida is the lack of good economical opportunities, but Sarasota is excelling at offering people good opportunities. Take us, for example. We moved to Sarasota right after Hurricane Ian, and while there is an influx of people from the Fort Myers area and the Naples area into Sarasota because of Hurricane Ian, just like myself, that's not the only reason people are moving here. People from other parts of Florida are inbound into Sarasota. Cape Coral at number 5 is most likely going to be people leaving Southwest Florida because of Hurricane Ian. That's actually how we ended up here. A lot of those people are not going to move back. Number 1 is Asheville, North Carolina. This caught me by surprise because Asheville, North Carolina is nothing more than a gathering place for homeless hipsters, and it's a very, the photos are self-explanatory. I don't really need to explain what's going on here. It's an interesting place, and a lot of people from South Florida want to move there for some reason. I personally did not find the Asheville area very attractive. The homelessness was out of control. People smelled really bad for some reason. I wear my mask not because of COVID. I wear my mask because the people stink so bad. But despite what I think of this place, it is the number 1 place people leaving Florida are heading to from all metropolitan areas. They're probably looking for a more affordable place. They want to be near the mountains, and possibly a lot of people are going there for political reasons. Many areas of western North Carolina are being flooded with people from South Florida, and even small towns in the mountains are having Cuban restaurants, Cuban food trucks, Publixes, and just brands that you would almost associate with Florida are starting to pop up in this part of the Carolinas. Even me and my wife have strongly considered the Asheville area. There's this little place called Gainesville we really liked. It had a Publix, it had a Starbucks, and it had Cuban restaurants. The types of businesses we're used to here in South Florida. There's even a place in western North Carolina, I think it's like a gated golf course community, that's known as Cuban Hill or Cuban Mountain. Waynesville, Silva, Asheville are just a few of the places that are attracting a lot of people from South Florida, and a lot of them really like it. It's more affordable, there's better jobs, people are not as fueled up as they are here in Florida. There it is. That is the number 1 place that people leaving Florida are heading to. Sometimes I worry for people who leave Florida because we think we're going to find better economical prospects. And I'm glad that a lot of us have lived better lives after leaving Florida, because in Florida, many times we're economically stuck and we just can't get ahead. And that's one of the things that people that are from Florida really struggle with, is the fact you just can't make a future here. You can't get ahead. What I find interesting is that the cities people are moving to from Florida, places like Asheville, Tallahassee, Knoxville, Chattanooga, these are all cities that have one thing in common: a lot of homelessness. And I really hope that the people that are homeless in these cities are not coming from other parts of Florida. I just find it a little disturbing that the cities people are moving to from Florida also happen to be the homeless capitals of the South. And I really hope deep inside that many of these homeless people weren't people who relocated somewhere else looking for affordability and crap did not work out for them, so they ended up on the streets. I really hope that's not the case. I would literally have to go to all these cities, meet a bunch of homeless people, and see if any of them came from Florida, and how they ended up there would be an interesting social experiment, because at the end of the day, the only thing that I find that is kind of concording with these cities people are moving to is that they happen to be the homeless capitals of the South. Take outbound migration from Tampa. It's only a few hundred people looking to leave the area, but it's thousands of people moving to Tampa from other cities like New York, Detroit, and Chicago. Really, people leaving Florida are an insignificant crowd in comparison to the thousands that are coming to Florida, but they're all leaving a same region of the country. That means that they don't know what they're doing. They're just moving to Florida randomly. They think that's what they need to be doing. However, when you look at the economical prospects of the people in Florida, they're leaving looking for economy. The people that are moving to Florida are moving to Florida looking for beaches and some type of political incentive of some sort. But it's interesting to compare these two groups of the people that are moving to Florida and what they want, and the people that are leaving Florida and what they need. I really don't think that people leaving Florida want to leave Florida. They have to leave Florida because they're just struggling too much. But I'm going to tell you, you're probably better off struggling here in Florida and figuring out how to make this work than moving somewhere else and hoping that you're going to make it, especially if you're the type of person that likes to go to walks, likes to go to the beach. If you're an out and about type of person, you probably don't want to leave Florida. If you're like okay being inside the house all the time, you'll probably do great. Take a close look at this scenery here. Look at the foliage, look at the cloudy skies, look at the dead grass. Soak this in for a second. Look at the difference. Coconut trees, clear blue skies, warm weather, people that are on vacation or that are tourists, they're carrying around beautiful, colorful handbags or beautiful beach chairs that are all different colors. They're driving around convertibles with their tops down. The vibes, the essence of Florida, it's hard to replace that when you move to South Carolina. And the depression of the winter is something you're not going to experience. The winter times in Florida are the best time to be in Florida, but the winter times in other states, even if you just go a little bit outside of Florida, the grass is already dead. So if you're coming from this type of warm, vibrant environment to end up in some mountain that's gray and covered in ice, it's going to be a very difficult prospect for you if you really depend on these vibes for your psychological health. Florida is the place to be. That's why people are moving here by the thousands. They're not moving to other states. They're moving here for a lot of reasons. But I feel like the people that are leaving Florida are not leaving because they want to. They're leaving because they just can't get ahead. To be completely truthful with you, the people that are leaving New York and leaving Chicago and Detroit are not the normal people. These are the ultra-rich people that are moving down here because they can afford it. These big cities are flushing the toilet on Florida and sending us all the rich snobs, all the people that are just kind of not the most attractive people that we want here in Florida. You're not getting normal people. I've been to New York City. There are some incredible, nice people. Some of the nicest people that I've met were the regular, normal people of New York City. What we get to see in Florida are the ones that came here in their Subaru. They found their realtor on YouTube. Okay, they're from New York. By the way, I didn't find a single person in New York who said New York. What you're getting here, like the representation that you're getting, is not the average person from New York City. I met some incredible people up there, and I don't feel like they're sending us their best. When New York sends us people, they're not sending us their best. But when Florida sends people out, we are sending out our best, because these are the people that want to get ahead, that want something better. So Florida's ever increasingly getting rid of good, hardworking people and replacing them with absolutely obsolete, or obsoletely just people that are not doing anything for society. They're just coming here to retire early from New York with a lot of money. They're not working. They're not starting businesses. They're just taking up a condo that somebody else could have lived in. Many years ago, Florida was known for old people. I'm going to say something that might shock you. Those old people that were in their 70s and 80s that used to live in Florida like in the early 2000s had more life to them than the people in their 50s that are coming down here now. These people are possibly zoned out. They have no character. They have no expression. They're just driving a Subaru with an orange license plate. They don't smile. They don't talk. They don't start conversations. Maybe they've taken more pills than their brain can function anymore. So they're just like this zombied out, no character player. NPC, non-player characters. These people are just like robots walking around, buying real estate, moving into a condo, and then like petting their cat for the rest of their lives. It's rumored that some of these people go outside at a specific time to walk their dogs and get Panera, and that's the only time you're going to see these people. I'm just saying, like, I've never been at the DMV and, like, had somebody next to me and then be like, oh, I'm from New York. I just moved here with my Subaru, you know? I'm getting my driver's license. Has anybody even seen these people at the DMV or getting ice cream or doing, like, normal people stuff? These people don't. Like, they just go from, like, their realtor's office to their condo and then like once a month to get supplies for their cat, and then that's it. They don't like go out, meet people, interact. Maybe they're scared of the sun. I don't know what the crap. They're definitely non-playable characters. They're just like zombied out, walking through like their parking lot on the way to their car, and then that's it. Like they're not like getting out there and interacting with people. I mean, what do these people do with their life when they move to Florida? I mean, they're probably just at home on a couch petting their cat, watching my YouTube video horrified. Alright everybody, that's today's video. Are you a Floridian dreaming about living in the mountains? Do you think you will miss the beaches? And do you find that people that move down here from New York are non-playable characters? Do these people have any other hobbies other than driving Subarus, buying condos, and petting their cat? Are there any other characteristics you've noticed about these people? One time I was in Naples, Florida, and I just couldn't resist the urge. I saw like 3 people from like Connecticut or New York that were gathered outside a pizza place, and I just had to like get close and see what they were talking about. And they were talking about their Subarus, petting their cats, and cauliflower-based pizza. Is there more to these people? Do they have any hobbies? Do any of them have a job? Like, I've never been at the Walgreens and the lady at the register be like, hi, my name is Sandy. I'm from New York. I drive a Subaru. You have a Walgreens reward number. I could give you a coupon. I've never been pulled over by a cop who moved here from New York. You know, so do you know how fast you was going up that hill? You could have hurt somebody in a Subaru. Yeah, I'll be honest. I'd rather get pulled over by a racist Southern cop than get pulled over by a New Yorker. Like, hey, boy, do you know how fast you were driving down that hill? I'm actually just sitting outside of a shop drink. I'm not even in my car. Don't raise your voice at me, boys. Gonna hit you with this baton right here.
Hey, officer, don't hit him. He's not even driving the car.
Well, look at you, Yankee Doodle. You want some too? Ow!
Back in New York, police officers don't treat Hispanics like that.
Wow, dude, that is like the worst imitation I've ever heard of a New Yorker. Don't you know how to like sound like a New Yorker?
No.
Try saying, I'm from New York.
I'm from New York.
I'm from New York.
I'm from New York.
New York.
New York.
New York.
New York.
I'm gonna have to pay somebody else. You're a horrible New York accent. Can you believe this? She's lived in Florida for 14 years and she still doesn't know how to sound like a New Yorker.